Hello everyone. Sami Zayn may have lost something in victory. The Street Profits multitask, giving both offense and defense at once. And have we seen the launch of a whole new feud from Talking Smack? I'm Casualeann. Come with me. So our hosts for the September 4th edition of Talking Smack are Kevin Patrick and Matt Camp. They begin by running down the major headlines. So we have Roman Reigns with some assistance from the Bloodline, retaining in his match against Finn Balor. Now Finn is mid-entrance, like poised, arms out, the whole nine. And the Usos jump him from the turnbuckle and they beat him down, literally beat him down from the turnbuckle to the floor. Roman comes out, the match ensues, and it's still competitive with some nice spots, which include Roman kicking out of the coup de grace, but doing it in a way that gives Finn a low blow. He clamps down on Finn like a python with the guillotine. Finn fights some, then passes out. And I talk about the feud here because when they come back around to it in discussion, it's with regard to something else. At the moment that happened, I hated it so bad. We couldn't really see how things might play out with a Finn Balor at 100%. But the way that they actually protected him, I think ultimately was ideal because it was still a competitive match. The man still fought despite being attacked a lot from even before the beginning. It's not like the past few pay-per-views were, in which Roman just comes out, zero interference, and just tears the person apart, or despite there being a competitive match, he just bests the person with no help at all. It did protect him and also leave room possibly for this demon character to come back. They announced that a second Edge Seth Rollins showdown is going to be set for this evening's Super SmackDown at Madison Square Garden. Also set for Super SmackDown is Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch's contract signing for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Dominic Mysterio lost to Sami Zayn for a second week in a row due to Ray temporarily distracting him. This is in the aftermath of trying to make sure that Sami Zayn didn't escape the ring. Kevin Patrick and Matt Camp give us a little bit about this building disconnect between the Mysterios, and then Patrick gives kind of the best segue I've heard in a long time. He says, you know who I think might have an interesting opinion on this? Sami Zayn, who's standing by with Kayla Braxton. I'm like, wow, yes, smooth like butterscotch and seasick waves. So they throw it from WWE headquarters back to Jacksonville with the pair, and Kayla asks Sami Zayn how he feels about defeating Mysterio 2 weeks in a row. And Sami's road to the ultimate prick does continue through the First Coast, and he seeks congratulations on his victory, assuming that Kayla actually wished that she were asking about Sami Zayn's defeat tonight. He offers this second victory over Dominic as proof that he's just not on Sami Zayn's level. So with this, she asks if Dominic's coming back for even more. Now, creative will ensure, in fact, that Dominic does come back for more, and if so, he's in good hands with Sami Zayn. But Sami Zayn calls Dominic a great rookie, and he says he's welcome to return and challenge him again, and that when he does, Kayla will be coming back congratulating Sami Zayn on another victory. It's pretty on brand. He's great as a heel, and he even slips in a little bit of a line, a tip of the hat to Dominic with calling him a great rookie. I do find it a little odd that the whole Intercontinental Champion, the documentary is about to come out, speak truth to power, that sort of character seems completely gone without any explanation at all. But it was still a good segment. We'll see where they're actually going with both Dominic and Sami Zayn's characters. Matt does congratulate him, but Kevin Patrick kind of saves a possible congratulations until next week. From there, they tell us that Toni Storm and the Street Profits are going to be next, with a hint at Toni's possible affection for Rick Boogs. Now, when I hear that, I'm thinking about her introduction to Talking Smack itself a few weeks ago, how much optimism and aspiration for that SmackDown Women's title was kind of glinting in her eyes and echoing in her voice, how enthusiastic she was to let us know who she is. I think about that and I'm like, please don't tell me that that's all her interview is going to be about, is her liking Rick Boogs. We haven't seen her in weeks. But we get some ads. They return with recap of Bianca's challenge to Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky again said no, but as Bianca has won the #1 contendership in a fatal 4-way match, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville do intervene. She'll have her shot at the title at Extreme Rules, and that's kind of how the Madison Square Garden contract signing for tonight is going to come about. So Matt Camp wonders if Becky will try to get out of the contract signing, which I thought was a little bit of a weird question. But then they go on to emphasize the 26-second defeat and what it did to Bianca Belair, and how we should think about, with the contract signing, how great a match this match at Extreme Rules will be. What I'll have to refrain from thinking about, how one of these women's entrances will still be longer than that whole SummerSlam match was. They move on to Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, they show his recap. He's kind of moving around, making the cameraman seasick, asking Toni Storm if she wants to watch his match and be at ringside. She says Dolph Ziggler is great, but she's going for Rick Boogs. It was pretty innocuous. She didn't exactly have the hard eyes while she said it, but you know, who knows what direction they're headed in. So Kayla Braxton has Toni Storm with her, and she asks Toni to talk about her Rick Boogs fandom. Toni says Dolph's great, but Rick's like Eddie Van Halen in wrestling boots. And my building disgust is disrupted by Zelina Vega. Now, Zelina comes out on 10, insulting Toni's outfit, saying she's making mistakes, and that Toni's lucky Dolph even looked in her direction. And she offers Toni a Zelina Vega t-shirt to make her look better. She walks out of frame, just healing out. Kayla takes the shirt down, drops it on the floor, and apologizes, saying that Zelina's like that to everyone. Now, I suppose this means that there will be a match between the two, with no further explanation on the main show. But hey, if so, then it's kind of nice to see the beginnings of this feud come from Talking Smack. Kayla asks Toni Storm, what do you enjoy most about being on SmackDown? And Toni's found it interesting, but she steers right back to Rick Boogs, and how she's just a big fan and he's just cool. Now, Kayla, to her credit, does make it to the women's title picture at some point. She asks Toni who her eye is on. And Toni name drops the former women's champion, Bianca Belair, the current champion, Becky Lynch, and just everyone. And now, apparently, Zelina Vega. So finally for the segment, Kayla asks if she wants to keep the t-shirt, and Toni says yeah, she'll keep it. She spilled something in the locker room earlier, and this will be perfect to clean it up. Dang! Shots fired! Fantastic! This was kind of balanced. I was worried. I really was. I was worried that they were going to just reduce her to the screaming chick just waiting to reach out and touch Rick Boogs. I mean, he's great. Love him with Shinsuke Nakamura. Love his wrestling. Love his skills with the guitar. But, you know, just don't do that to her. But they pulled it out. They gave her a new feud. They gave her a nod to women's championship ambitions. Hey, it's as much as I possibly could have asked for. Matt Camp shows some desire himself to see Vega and Storm mix it up in the ring. Then the pair segue into the Street Profits. We get some more ads, then they return with recap of their Seth Rollins-Cesaro match. Rollins is acting extremely edgish. Edgish? Is that a word? Putting the broken piece of chair into Cesaro's mouth, and he's also about to give him a concerto, but then Edge comes out to make the rescue. It's good action. Like, it made me actively cringe because I remember Cesaro with Sheamus as the Bar, and that match on Raw when Cesaro smashed his head into the post and drove his teeth into his head. But Edge vows to burn Seth Rollins down again, so they're using each other's catchphrases apparently, and I'm up for it. They do something interesting, which is give a medical update on Cesaro, and he supposedly has sustained a cervical strain. Now, this is kind of the perfect kayfabe injury to further the storyline, because the implication is, oh, if he can do that to Cesaro, what on earth can he possibly do to Edge with all of his surgeries, with all of his injuries? They go to Paul Heyman's conflict with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Heyman's phone rings, and it's actually Brock Lesnar's entrance music. Hilarious. The Street Profits are victorious over the Usos via disqualification in a championship contenders match. But they return towards the end of the night to run off the Usos while they were attacking Finn Balor. So they go to Kayla with the Street Profits, and she asks how they're feeling after this win. And Ford senses Kayla's excitement, and he says it's because Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins got to the 7-time tag team champions. This shows that they're making a statement. Now, Dawkins again, with that info density, few words, big impact, says somebody's scared. Scaredy Usos turns it into like a whole little chant song. I have no words. Somehow they're just so cool, they make it work. And Kevin's actually chanting with them as they cut back to WWE headquarters. And Camp tells him that the Bloodline's gonna get him for dancing like that. But they give the major events again happening at Super SmackDown, and that's it. That's it for the show. Now, a must-watch segment is Toni Storm. They are, at least at this point, making an effort for her to be three-dimensional. We'll see how long it lasts. I can really appreciate that as a fan, though. And they set up a feud with Zelina Vega as well, all within this one segment. The rating is 4.5 out of 5. It was nearly perfect. Sami Zayn's segment with less engaging material, basically I won, come at me and I'll win again. It was delivered well. It's Sami Zayn, but it just brought things down just a little bit. Toni Storm and Kayla together were fantastic. The Street Profits were great. Just an excellent show overall. That was Talking Smack from September 4th. What do you think? What matches or interactions are you most looking forward to for Super SmackDown? How does a Zelina Vega feud work for the new girl, Toni Storm? How does Paul Heyman handle being wedged between a Brock and a hard place? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tap that bell icon to make sure that you get notifications for when new videos come out. This is how the channel is helped. This is how it gets recommended to others, so you gotta be sure that you do if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.